You mentioned in here, and this is the first that I'd heard about it, but the downtown courthouse, you'd mentioned that you're going to ensure dollars aren't taken away for the construction of the East County Justice Center. My understanding was the downtown courthouse was quite a ways out to begin with. Can you clarify that?
You bet. As you know, the initial discussions about the East County Justice Center really began 5-ish years ago, and dollars that were mentioned at that time, there is a concern that those dollars just over time, that need has increased. And I don't want something else detracting from additional dollars that needs to take place to get the East County Justice Facility opened. It's my understanding for the downtown courthouse, there's a good chance that will go out to a bond or something like that to happen. But we need to get that built, and I don't want anything to take money away from that.
Chief, there was a couple years ago, there was a proposal by the Gresham Police Department that was taken down to the Board of County Commissioners regarding potentially contracting patrol services in this county through Gresham Police Department. Can you talk briefly about a little bit about that and what the end result was with that?
You bet. We put a team together, including representation from the Sheriff's Office. We put some preliminary numbers together, brought together the chiefs from Troutdale, Fairview. At that time it was Lee Graham from the Sheriff's Office. Very transparent, very open. We presented it to the 4 cities meetings, those sorts of things. The idea was a 5-year plan that would allow the gradual transition of that patrol function to the Gresham Police Department. We saw that there would be, at about year 3, we would look at a potential cost savings, most likely based on the reassignment of SIU to the Gresham Police Department, still in that task force mode, but we were certainly seeing that the highest drug numbers were occurring within the city of Gresham. And then at year 5, because over that period of time, we would see then the blending of the training function, the supervision function, those sorts of things. There would be a cost savings. The cost savings was not great enough, like it was not going to be close to free, so that it broke down in discussions with the Board of County Commissioners.
Chief, on your written statement here, you state that you believe Wapato should be open as a jail, not as a treatment center. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Do you have anything else to add to that?
Well, again, I will compliment Chair Wheeler in bringing forward the really tough discussion pieces, or making pretty bold statements, at least to get discussions started. I am really encouraged, as I've met with the corrections deputies and had discussions around this, that it's now like negotiations going back and forth with really what is going to be the best solution. There's certainly a contingency at the county that wants some treatment beds opened. Certainly to do that at Wapato would take a tremendous amount of remodeling dollars, those sorts of things. I don't believe that's the right location for that. Again, in conversations with corrections deputies, there's a potential that some of the beds at the downtown detention facility could in fact be used for that, and there would be a swap in and out. So really, to get those discussions started, to come to the perfect answer, or at least the best answer, is really the way for it to go. But again, the sheer cost for Wapato to be redesigned is really prohibitive. It needs to be a jail. I think we all know that. Yes?
Do you support, I'll use the word stealing, do you support stealing from law enforcement to try to subsidize or pay for corrections issues? That's happened in the past, and there has been a lot of things through the commissioner, through the sheriff, that kind of rob Peter to pay Paul on that other side, because there is such a push to open Wapato.
And that is a dangerous path to go down. And these are the really, really tough, hard decisions when there's no money. But to directly answer your question, no, robbing Peter to pay Paul is not the right answer, because none of us are at a stage where we can afford to lose anything.
Obviously, you've seen a tenuous at best relationship between the current sheriff and the commissioners, what do you think your role is with your relationship with the sheriff?
At present or in the future?
Both,
Oh, well,
since I was still here.
just, well, you know, I think Sheriff Justo has made a statement that he is intending to step down, and I think that time has come so that we can move forward and continue to rebuild relationships and trust. I think that the members of the Sheriff's Department still are held in pretty high regard by the members of the County Commissioner that I speak to, and with the bringing on the interim leadership to allow the Sheriff's Office to thrive and prosper and do the job it needs to do, that will only take place with Sheriff Justo stepping down.
So in the future then, regardless of who fills in or is elected in the future, what do you think your role is as a county commissioner in either oversight or that type of relationship?
Well, I think it's a peer-to-peer relationship. I think it has to be a mutually supportive relationship where discussions have to be open and honest and transparent so that we are all getting towards the same common goal. I think that has been lacking in the past. So, you know, that we all, as a Board of County Commissioners, we all have the same deck of cards, and we have to figure out how that's going to work the most effectively and efficiently in really, really tough financial times for the entire county. I view, again, coming from a law enforcement background, I would like to work very closely with the sheriff in establishing a very strong working relationship so that all the needs are met. And when I mean all, again, it's got to be a bit of give and take.
You talk a bit about your first step, as you see it, law enforcement, in your written statements. What is your final vision, as you can see it now, which may change for East County? What is your final vision for law enforcement services for, say, 162nd East County?
I see a contracted patrol function, and I see everything else in the task force mode. I see a regional investigations, I see regional drug enforcement, I see regional gang enforcement for the entire 162nd East.
So is that a specific model that you can base that on? Or is that, you know, like for instance, would Fairview and Troutdale still have law enforcement services, their own? Or would they be contracting to somebody specifically too?
I think my first step would not be that. I think over time that is the logical step to take.
So is it, as a specific model, a user board, some specific person in charge, a chief, a sheriff? What do you see as the end goal?
At the end goal,
Yeah.
I would see it as a user board. And that could be as many as 20 years out. I don't think we rush into any of these sorts of things.